live. Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CosmoQuest Hangout-a-thon. We are now in hour 10, and this is the entire team that produces Escape Velocity Space News. We are...
Three of us doing the whole thing.
And I don't think most people realize, because they're like, it's just YouTube videos. We're producing a full TV show that goes out on YouTube, and I want Allie to start by explaining the full process.
The full process. Oh, God. Okay, so on a production week, Pamela writes the script, or like pulls the stories and writes the script. So she's doing all of the research for the main portion of it and writing the main script. And then Eric is tracking rocket launches, tracking rocket news, writing the rocket script, pulling the videos and the images for me so that I can have everything in one nice, neat place, which they both do that. And I love both of you so much. You make my life so much easier. So they do all of that at the beginning of a production week, and then it all gets handed, and then Pamela records, Eric records, and then they hand it off to me, and I have to like edit it, make all the jump cuts look smooth.
And I don't always give you a clean recording.
No. There's some days where Pamela will say, like, the recording's clean, and I'm like, it's cleaner.
I'm sorry.
But, you know, that's why we record and edit. Like,
yeah,
that
we
is my job.
tried to record live. That was a terrible mistake.
Is my job as an editor.
It was fun, though.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Back when we recorded on Twitch.
Yeah, and that's something that, like, if we hit our funding goals, like, that's something we could explore bringing back. We enjoy that. I think the people who joined us for it enjoyed it. It's barely controlled chaos, but that's the joy of live TV.
And the main reason we don't do that is because I can't read and switch slides simultaneously. But we have the technology because last year during the Hangout-a-thon, you all donated enough money that we were able to buy production computers that actually work.
Yes, it's amazing. Like, seriously, thank you so much. Yeah. It has made my job as a producer and an editor so much easier. And it's actually like, editing had gotten to be very stressful for me because of the machine that I was using. And because y'all gave us enough money last year for me to get that this like new machine, this Mac Mini, it has brought back my joy for editing and for creating. And so it's like, the other machine was just, it was so stressful that I'm just like, I gotta edit today. And now I actually look forward to sitting down and editing and just like letting my creativity go. I also, I do all the graphics. I do all the credits. I also edit the podcast, and produce the podcast. So it's like, we're all three of us are behind the scenes, like doing the work of like 4 or 5 people. And then we also have community volunteers that are helping with like researching and fact checking and wrangling our Trello. It's like, I don't want to leave them out.
Our Instro, who I think this is the first Hangout-a-thon, he hasn't been here in person since the pandemic started. Yeah, and he was here.
Does so much for the rocket segment.
Yeah, go ahead, Eric. I'm gonna let you explain.
He does a lot of the research that makes my job writing it and explaining it a lot easier to not have to hunt down all of the media.
And he like knows random stuff. Like, it turns out that a lot of the Chinese patches give away details that of the missions, and he's able to decrypt stuff for us. It's just fun. It's just fun. Now, we have big dreams for 2026, and one of those dreams is if we hit 2,500 a month, we are going to be able to provide live coverage of the Artemis 2 launch. We need to get, and this is where I'm starting to feel some stress, but I'm not actually going to stress until later in the month. We need to get to 2,000 per month on Patreon to keep going exactly as we are right now.
Yeah, and we're honestly, like, we are so close to hitting, like, relative, like, we're at around, like, 1,500 a month.
Yeah.
And adding that, like, extra 500 really, like, if every one of our free members subscribed at just the $1 level, we would be there.
We have 6,000 people on our newsletter. We have 700 people on our Patreon. We have just over 100 people supporting us as paid patrons.
Yeah, and we have like several thousand listeners for our podcast.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we have this like really large audience. And we would love it so much if just, even if all you've got is $1 a month, it would go so far to helping us be able to like grow this show, be able to do things like send Eric to see his first rocket launch in person, which I'm like really excited for him to get to do that. And to get to see Artemis, like that's awesome. And like we'll be able to like cover it live. And it's just, yeah, that'd be so cool. But like, unfortunately, these things do cost money.
Yeah. And this is where we have dreams that we articulate. And all of us would do this as a full-time job, and we're not going to get a full-time job this year out of it.
And that's fine.
We have all come to terms with the fact, like Eric went and got himself a day job. Allie and I have side hustles for our side hustles.
And, yeah, so many side hustles.
And
I'm usually working about 3 extra jobs in the background. So.
And when I asked folks, what is the one thing you would like to do most? For Eric, it was seeing an Artemis launch. And so, like, Artemis 2 is this year. We want to go. For Allie, it's more content.
Yep. I would love for us to make our show weekly. I would love for us to, again, be able to, like, add, like, special short episodes to, like, cover specific topics. And like do do more stuff around rocket launches, and just like just add more content. I would love to be able to like improve the production values, like be able to like develop like original graphics for us, because a lot of the graphics I pull from like licensed sources. We pay for that stuff. It's completely legal. But I would love for us to have in-house graphic design, right? And we need to grow our budget to be able to do that.
And so this is where we're here, and I really want Eric and Allie to share their dreams, their sadnesses, the things they would love to do most, across all the different things that we do. Like one of the things that I really wanted, so I just bought it for myself, because sometimes I get a side hustle to buy things to improve EVSN. True story. So I side hustled to be able to get the same kind of mobile camera that you see TikTokers having. And this means that when I went to the it was a Falcon 9 launch of iSpace and Firefly's missions to the moon. Um, I had the ability to capture that, and I wouldn't have without buying that camera. And we've done a few shorts. We need to do a lot more, but we just haven't had the money that buys the time to be able to do things. And what I really want to do is more shorts, more uh, uh, opportunities to say, I could spend my afternoon in telecons that do not benefit the world in any way, or I could spend the next 4 hours explaining this really cool thing, and the entire video will be less than 3 minutes, but it actually takes 4 hours to produce those 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's really funny. Like for like every like 5 minutes of footage you see, it's taken like several hours to make that happen. Like there's a lot behind the scenes that goes in, even those little short videos. I just want to say really quick, someone did give $50
Thank
to
you.
our Kindful campaign. So we are currently at $4,494.
It is no longer a palindrome.
Let's make it a palindrome again, people. And I am updating the thing on your screen.
I saw the real fake admin in chat. Yeah, you're there. Do you still have your palindrome generator? So real fake admin worked as part of our team. He is part of the most cursed project ever. It was nobody's fault. We literally have had so many. Everyone's personal lives had things fall apart who worked on this one NASA PDART grant.
It was cursed.
I
wasn't on it, but I was like watching as an outsider, and that thing was cursed.
Yeah. The real fake admin, as part of the last Hangout-a-thon, generated a palindrome generator and is now off doing things that I'm super proud of him for doing. And yeah, I don't know if the palindrome generator still exists. So every show consists of me going through looking for news articles every day, from the press releases that come out, from the new articles that are coming out, from things that are on social media. Then I pick the stories. Our Insta is out there following all the rocket launches. Eric is out there following all the rocket news. And that goes into doing the Tales from the Launch Pad. I write my brains out. I will often ask folks for input, especially like our last episode had a lot of poop humor involved.
And so I was the one she came to double check her poop humor. I have a specific set of skills.
And I needed Eric to fact check my number of toilets, and I had confused two of the Chinese rockets, and I was so confused, and I thought I had screwed up the number of telescopes, and no, I had screwed up the names of the space capsules. Different problem. And I think I hopefully amused Eric more than annoying him with my lack of knowledge that day.
That's why
we're a team.
That's why we're a team. We all we check each other, and I think it really is a testament to like collaboration is always better than solo work, right? Because if through the collaborative process, you're able to create something together that is stronger and more interesting and more fun than any one person in the group could do on their own.
And it's also just, we're working in interesting times. Eric, you are forever bringing us new news that fills us with rage or hope, occasionally both, mostly rage lately. What have been the highlights for you of the past year of just covering the aerospace industry?
Watching Artemis 2 get stacked and not canceled and scrapped was good.
You also were following all the
all
insanity
all
with
all the all
Starliner.
the all the different lunar landers that are going up is pretty neat to watch as well.
They like to fall over.
Some of them don't work.
No.
I think
Firefly
one of them
worked.
did. Firefly.
Firefly, yeah.
Firefly went wee.
Um,
Yeah, thanks to you, Eric, I am painfully up to date on everything going on with Starship. And my friends also would like to thank you because every time you share something new about Starship, I'm in the group chat being like, "You won't guess what they did this time." So you are providing joy and laughter and many exasperated sighs.
I have to admit, the thing you shared that I'm most likely to return to mentioning over and over for years to come is the alligator that led to the conversation
Oh yeah,
of,
that one.
was it poached? Was it Allie's trying not to die of laughter over
No,
here.
I'm laughing because so everyone else on the team is a night owl except for me. Somehow I became a morning person, and I usually go to bed at like 9 p.m. So like I miss a lot of these conversations. So I wake up the next morning and I have all these notifications on my phone where everyone's discussing, was the alligator poached or boiled, or like and I'm just like, what?
Ionized?
Yeah, and I'm like, what is going on? Like I know, and then I see like I think vaporized was in there, and I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on. I need my coffee.
Can
The
you relay
alligator was fine, as it turns out.
Really?
They
It
they, they, they,
survived?
they they managed to scare it off in time.
Oh, good.
So tell the story of the alligator.
During the test fire campaign for the second New Glenn launch, uh, there was an alligator in their flame trench, and they did everything possible to get it out, and they
And
worked.
everything entailed what?
Uh, Lots of loud sirens and dumping a bunch of water on it from the launch pad sound suppression system.
And like we thought that when they did that brief firing that we thought aborted, that had like cooked the poor critter. How did they figure out it wasn't a different alligator and that alligator actually vacated the premises?
I don't know. I was just told it survived.
Okay, that's fair.
That
That's
makes me
fair.
happy.
I hope they aren't just saying that to placate the internet.
And I'm over here just like, rocket poached alligator tail.
That is definitely my favorite story of the year so far.
Well, that was a good one, but that one time when the starship just blew up,
Oh,
Like
yeah.
when
was
it was
like,
still on the pad, like
yeah, it's like a
just
normal test, like holy, it blew up.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that.
And it was right after our Instro's wedding. So we actually had a community wedding. This was a good year on that front. Griff Dog and our Instro, our two Cosmo Quest community members.
Yes.
Our Instro, we mentioned he's one of our Rocket volunteers. He's been our bud. Annie and I got through so much because he was there supporting us. And he got married this summer, and Annie, her favorite human, Ms. Britt Kitten, and I all flew out for the wedding, and we were at the airport flying home. And Eric let us know, and like suddenly we're all swapping videos of slow motion explosion of, what was that, Starship 30, 36.
Okay.
And
Something.
like the internet had a moment of how do we get this like framed and contrasted the best so that you can see all the details of like parts of the tank flying through the air.
Parts of the launch pad flying through the air.
It's true. It's true. The launch pad was no more. Or I guess that was the test stand was no more.
What number are we up to, Eric? In starships?
39,
Okay,
I think is the next one.
lower than I thought it would be.
And they're on a first stage 19 after they blew a hole in first stage 18.
That was spectacular.
Yes. And I think even more unexpected than Starship 36 blew it up because it didn't even have any propellant in it. They just had a pressure canister, pressurized gas canister go off
Yeah.
because they dropped it and installed it anyway.
If you haven't seen a picture of this yet, Starship is steel. And these look like giant grain silos that, in this case, it looks like the side just like split out, because it did. And it's not how you expect a high-tech piece of equipment to end its own life. Yeah.
I got an angry message on Blue Sky about a month ago, because someone did not like that I was getting a little spicy about SpaceX, as I tend to do on my personal account, and said that that Starship is our best chance at making it back to the moon, and I'm like. Well, if that's our best chance, I don't know what's going to happen.
And this is one of the weird things that we deal with is we're a news show that follows the facts and understands the science. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the facts are like, no, it's really not. It's not. It's just not. And it is dangerous in this day and age to report facts that people don't like. Mm-hmm. And it's on multiple fronts that we're dealing with it. So
yeah, we do get a lot. Well, we get a few like nasty comments when we're like critical of Elon Musk and SpaceX, and I just want to be clear that when we are critical of them, we're not editorializing. We are just stating what happened. That's it. It is like very traditional, straightforward journalism. We are just stating the facts, and people
do not like them.
they don't like the facts, so they say that we're biased against Musk, and it's like no, we're just reporting the facts, and that's one of the reasons why we want y'all to help us stay funded. Is it's very important to us that. Even while other programs at CosmoQuest are seeking out like corporate sponsorship, EVSN is going to remain funded by you, because we want to keep the news independent. We don't want to be influenced by corporate ownership the way you see a lot of media these days, unfortunately. So it's really, really important to us to have that independent science reporting, because we can talk about climate change. We can report on the things that SpaceX maybe isn't getting as right as they could. And that's because of y'all.
Yeah. And we take the time to run the numbers. We did a episode comparing what SpaceX is planning to do with what would be necessary to accomplish that, looking at things like they want to send a huge number of missions to Mars over the next several launch windows, and it's going to require basically building a Starship every 8 hours and then launching that sucker. And when you start realizing that during the launch windows, every couple of hours, there's going to be a Starship firing up its engines from low Earth orbit, that's a bit traumatizing to consider, especially when you start to think they're probably going to be launching from the midnight point in the sky to get the best additional velocity for their escape towards Mars Hellman transfer orbit. running those numbers is something we have the capacity to do. Reporting on the facts is something we want to do.
Even when those facts make us want to crawl under our desk.
Which is a true story. And so what we run into also is the algorithm works against us nowadays. Because the algorithm knows that when you talk about Elon Musk, when you talk about SpaceX in a popular light, you're going to get more clicks. You're going to get more views. And so quite often we don't have the algorithmic support that would really help.
Because it's hard to game the algorithm when
Yeah.
you are reporting on current events, especially when you're reporting on like science current events. Because we're not sitting here and picking and choosing which stories based on what will make the algorithm happy. We're picking the news that is important that we want to get out to our audience, and sometimes stuff that's just fun.
Yeah. Our last episode, I had way too much fun because it involved volcanoes.
Oh, I loved it because I love volcanoes and like all the geology around volcanoes, and I'm still thinking about that story that we ran in that episode that was about that potentially there are ancient mountain ranges in the mantle.
At the core mantle boundary.
Mantle boundary.
Yeah.
That there's like these ancient mountain ranges like embedded deep down in the earth, and it's like there's something really creepy about that. But
Yeah.
also it like made me think of
Kaiju.
it made me think of Jules Verne actually. Journey
Yes.
to the Center of the Earth. And like I grew up reading Jules Verne, so I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat, but also creepy in a very like eldritch horror sort of way.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, all true. So Keeper of Maps says in the chat, massive aerospace management closure issues if they have that cadence. Well, I mean, this is where sometimes we really have to worry about what ends up happening. And one of the things that I hadn't thought through until Eric brought it to us is because Starship is so large and blows up with such spectacular amounts of energy, in part because it's a methane fuel, they have to close a really large portion of Kennedy if they launch from Kennedy. And the folks who have neighboring pads are not happy. Can you talk about that a little bit, Eric? Do we still have Eric?
Oh, Eric muted.
I'm muted.
Oh,
Oh wait, no, now you're back.
Well, yeah, sorry about that. It's gonna shut down the entire Cape too, and that's both Kennedy Space Center and the Air Force pads because of just how large the blast radius exclusion zone is. So nobody, Air Force is not happy about that. NASA's not happy about that. Blue Origin's not happy about that. ULA's not happy about that. But
Also, has there been anything put out about the pollution that is going to be put into the atmosphere by that frequency of launches?
They deregulated.
Okay, so no one's even tracking it, is what you're saying. Pamela, is that correct?
So there was the EPA investigation, but then there was a movement under the current administration to loosen EPA regulations in favor of aerospace companies.
Right.
Eric
right.
knows more about that than I do.
I do.
I mean, you're the one who's provided me with documentation that I've read.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that documentation.
I've sent you so many things.
Yeah, that's like I'm. It's coming back to me now that we have all discussed this, but I'm just like, yeah, there's so many things happening. If you were on Twitter back in the days of horse ebooks, there was one horse ebooks tweet that I still love to quote, which is "Everything happens so much."
And so we're trying to keep track of all of this, and it's complicated. So yeah, so Kerbal writes, SpaceX can do whatever they want at their own spaceport, the one in Texas. They have to play nice with others when they're in Kennedy, though, but apparently they don't. I mean, this is where we're currently in a conundrum, because they were just licensed to launch, I believe, 70 some odd times per year, and for each of those launches, they're going to have to do at least one test firing, and you know that several of those launches are going to end up getting delayed due to errant boats, due to weather, due to more errant boats. There's a boat problem in Florida. And so you're looking at more than half the days in the year potentially having multi-hour shutdowns of the entire launch complex system because there's a Starship fueled up. And that suddenly makes it hard for anyone else to succeed. It's one way to get rid of the competition. But in order for that to actually be in our nation's best interest, SpaceX has to succeed. And so far, we've seen Artemis launch successfully around the moon on launch 1 with the SLS. We've seen Blue Origin successfully launched around the moon on New Glenn 1. And we've seen many Starships blow up. So Trillium says, only half joking, why bother with test firings? There's a 50-50 chance it's going to blow up anyways. So the goal is to get to the point where they are reliably launching and landing. We're just not there yet. And the reason you test fire is because even with fully successful systems, you're occasionally going to get something that when you pressurize everything and you do the test firing, you realize there's a faulty sensor, there's a leak, there's a part that needs replaced, there's electronics. They're like, nope, we are done being electronics. And so it's because of all these small things that happen very rarely.
Valves, not even once.
What was that?
Valves.
Yeah.
There are so many problems with valves.
Yeah. Valves are evil. Not as evil as small gas molecules. Hydrogen, helium, they are the enemy. We don't use helium in rockets. It's a noble gas, but it is an enemy of dirigibles. Yeah.
But I think Falcon 9 uses helium because it doesn't freeze in the liquid oxygen tank.
Oh, that's interesting.
And they needed to pressurize it.
Okay. So, what story, if you had the budget to just sit and research or write, would you want to see done as part of our show?
I want to go to see Artemis too.
Yes. We all want you to go see Artemis too.
Yes, we are. That's literally one of the reasons we're doing this fundraiser. Like, we want you to go see Artemis.
Yeah. So last year's big thing was Allie and I needed new computers. I was to the point my computer couldn't stream without green flickering, and now.
And my computer was overheating every time I had to export video, and it would shut down and scream.
I am looking at the prices of RAM and storage and looking at my computer, and I'm glad I only built it 2 years ago. So it has a long time of useful life.
Oh, yeah.
Because the computer part prices are not good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I cried when my gaming rig finally it became obsolete. Like, it was... no new games were going to be able to run on it. And then I looked at, like, the price of just the, like, GPU I needed, right? And I bought an Xbox instead. So I jumped back onto console gaming because I could get an Xbox for half of what the GPU cost.
I deeply confused one of the women at PSI that I work with the other day. I was like, I'll get that to you later. The files are actually on my Steam Deck. And she was like, what? And the issue was my Mac laptop overheats horrifically. Like, I was desperately trying to get it to work the other day. And I'd cleaned it out, and it needs to work long enough to do a trade-in at Apple. And I was trying to use it, and it overheated so that like all the Chrome windows started flickering pink. And it's a 2018. My Windows machine is a 2001, and it is now doing the overheating and shutting down. It did that to me last night while I was trying to work. But my Steam Deck I can rely upon. And so I just wanted to sit and watch TV in the living room, and I hooked my Steam Deck into a monitor, and it's Linux. I know how to use Linux, so I was looking some stuff up and recording it into a file, and it just happens to be on the Linux side of my Steam Deck, where I couldn't access it from my Mac.
I know so many people who do normal desktop things on their Steam Decks. It is pretty interesting.
It totally works. It is
like they had to add printer drivers to the Linux image on
awesome.
the Steam Deck because so many people wanted to print.
It's a computer. It's a
computer.
Good computer.
It does computer things.
That's the fun thing. Like if you get any kind of gaming computer, you're getting like a really high-powered machine that can also do other things.
Yeah, Allie's last production computer was Alienware. It then made us very sad very quickly. But yeah, so Artemis 2 for Eric. What, Allie, if we could do any in-depth story, what would you want to say?
Oh God, that put me on the spot there.
You heard me ask Eric.
I know. I had time to formulate, and I didn't. Go figure. Oh my God, in-depth story. I'm trying to think, like my like favorite things to read about are like I love reading about Europa. Yeah. I love Pluto. I would love to be able to do like an in-depth story about like kind of just like a retrospective of like all the cool things we've learned about Pluto over like the past decade. Because I know people are just all like, oh, it's not a real planet anymore. And it's just like, but it's so interesting. Yeah. Like, honestly, the dwarf planets in our solar system are just so cool. Like Pluto and Ceres are just so neat.
If I had the extra time to dedicate it to it, I'd want to sit down with the folks that are trying to figure out, is there actually another planet in the outskirts of our solar system that's like Mars-sized or larger? Because there's multiple teams that have multiple lines of contradictory, possible mathematical, it's out there, no, it's over there, wait, it's...
And the thing is, we have precedents for that, right? Because that's like how, was it Neptune or Uranus that was like...
Uranus, yeah.
Uranus, it was like, for a long time, they're like, something's out there.
Yeah.
Like, because we can see how everything's interacting around it, we just can't find it. And then they found it, and that's Uranus. So there is precedence for finding a planet that way. And so it's like, there is this like huge possibility that there is a ninth planet out there.
And if it's out there, it's hopefully going to be in the southern hemisphere or far enough south to be seen, at least in the northern hemisphere, by the Rubin Observatory. And I want to be able to interview people before Rubin gets too far along and proves it's not there.
Rubin's another thing that I would love to like be able to like talk to the people working on Reuben, and like just I, it's such a neat observatory.
There's so many of these things that we want to do.
And that's another thing we could bring people on for interviews, right?
Yeah.
We could, because we used to do that, but it is like it's very time consuming. It's something that we kind of had to take a long, hard look at and realize we don't have the resources for it right now. But like we're trying to get those resources, and that's like what your Patreon dollars go towards. Like basically, the more money you throw at EVSN, the cooler it will get.
Yeah, and the more other things around it will grow,
Yeah.
from shorts to interviews, all of that.
And I would love to even do like, because I'm based out of Philadelphia, and I would love to be able to go to like planetarium shows and like talk to classes and whatnot, and like maybe collaborate with like some of the teachers at the school that I substitute teach at, because they've got a really great science program. Like, there was one time when I was still living on campus that their physics teacher just found a telescope with a solar filter in the
wow.
basement.
As you do.
You know, as you do at like a very well-funded private school, and just let me put it out on the lawn and like talk to kids about sunspots while we looked at the sun together, and it was so much fun.
So this is what we're dreaming of doing. And along the way, we're inviting you to come with us. We're inviting you to play games with us. Are we in a position where we want to show people more of the Minecraft server, Eric?
I haven't been on the Minecraft server since I last talked about it. I had dinner to get.
That's a no.
Okay.
But there has been work done. I saw pictures.
Okay.
Okay. Keeper, if you're out there watching and Minecraft is something we should show off, can you jump into the Zoom and we'll show Minecraft? Otherwise, we're just going to keep talking here. It's been amazing building a program with people that we challenge each other to push the boundaries in terms of, we're going to talk about what's true, we're going to talk about what's factual, and we're also going to talk about things that make us laugh. There's a keeper.
It's a keeper with Minecraft.
All right. And
Meglin 73 donated $20.
thank you
thank you.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Eric, things have been done. What has been done?
On the diagonal, started doing the truss work for the main tower. Looks like.
You get it at the right angle, it looks like a double helix. Anyways, that's really cool.
Yeah. Now I need to find even better reference photos of all the different levels, because they're not all the same. Some of them are slightly different. And then there's all sorts of random stuff hanging off the sides, too.
We're good at random stuff, aren't we?
Nope, I'm gonna
Yes.
get that. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna get that
So,
Minecraft embiggened.
what's that, Allie?
I'm trying to embiggen the Minecraft.
Oh, I could share the window if you want.
Okay, perfect.
One moment. If you turn on sharing,
Oh, that would help, right?
it makes it a lot easier.
Hold on. Doing it. I really need to get new glasses, y'all. I am like squinting.
That's not good.
Yeah, I'm overdue for an eye exam. I was like, no, I can wait another year, and I'm learning that I can't wait another year. Okay, there it is. Should be able to share.
Nope. If you make me a co-host, I should be able to do it.
That will be easier. I apologize, guys. And this is where I show that I don't fucking know
hover over my pane. And the little blue thing in the top right corner of my pane.
My pane?
No, like on my image.
Oh, that, yeah. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. There you go.
What?
Oh, maybe you don't have
I don't, that's why I can't see anything. I don't have privileges.
No one in here has privileges.
No one in here has privileges. It is chaos.
All right. Well, we will just have to look at what's in my background.
We will have to all squint at my Minecraft together.
Yeah.
And a very nice QR code showing where you can donate to.
Yes.
And my very nice QR code, yes. And I think they're even somewhere around here, there's even giant QR codes that you can scan, but
I don't think it's been updated for this year.
Unless
you've already done it.
It's a short QR code, so I just rewired it.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we have that. Why don't we go down here? Apologies for the plummeting. I know some people don't like the rapid descent when you're in Minecraft and you suddenly drop to the ground.
Yeah, that's one of the things that gives me really bad vertigo.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can watch other people play Minecraft fine. If I'm playing it, I get incredibly dizzy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of settings in Minecraft. You can fiddle, like turning off the, what is it, head bobbing. Any game developer that makes head bobbing mandatory needs to be taken out and shot. I feel very strongly about that. Yeah, we've got a whole lot here. How do we get back to other parts of the server? So this is the thing. We've been building this server over several years.
And we finally combined it into one place for this year.
Yeah, we put as much of it together, all of the different years, as we could possibly do. And then it's like, okay, we have buttons that move us all over the place. And it's like, well, where do we go? I think this. Ah, yes, this takes us. We are now in the middle of the sun. This is our solar system build. This is where we made a scale model of the solar system. And so, of course, the sun is the largest thing in the solar system, but we built it as much as we could. And then we scaled everything. I think we used Jupiter as the reference for sort of one height inside of the dimension we're in Minecraft.
And that was before they changed how high you could build. So
yes, so
we could make it even bigger.
We need to go back and we could at least make the sun bigger, because the sun doesn't go up the whole height. But we can take a look at a couple of. We'll go to Jupiter. Oof. And Jupiter was just an absolutely amazing. It's an amazing planet, but it was an amazing build. It's not finished because, oddly enough, Jupiter's rather large, and so it takes time to paint. They were using special tools that would allow them to essentially paint on the surface of Jupiter. And I mean, there's the Great Red Spot. And then, of course, as everyone knows, the interior of Jupiter is incredibly dense. And so we've got a mostly diamond core here. Oops. And yeah, that is Jupiter. I'll just try and get out of Jupiter without falling into Jupiter, because... And the surface of the planet is glass. The gray bits, the uncolored bits, I believe, are just a glass of some sort, and then these others have been painted. Essentially, they've had the types changed. And when we did this project, we had palettes for each of the planets to make it easier for the people who are working on it. And uh-oh. And then, yeah, you know, it's easy to break buttons. So you carry around spare buttons. Saturn, though, I think is an even more impressive. I need to back up because Saturn's really big. And of course, you know, our prettiest gas giant in the solar system. And our prettiest gas giant in the solar system has many rings. And so people spent countless hours working on the rings. If you go in our Discord server, you'll actually find a picture of Saturn. Somebody had a special mod that they used that could pull in all the chunks and render everything out as far as they could see. And so you can see the whole of Saturn. And I don't know what the signs say. Glowstone on the inside half, not on the outside. Gives shading. Artistic direction for people who are working on it. And a cat at Uranus. Welcome to Uranus, the first of the ice giants. And I believe Uranus has a very faint ring, and you can sort of see it there. And it's got, as I recall, it has one or two tiny little white clouds on the rest of the surface of the planet. And we even have those.
I love that solar system build so much.
It was probably one of the biggest things I'm guessing that anyone has built in Minecraft. I mean, you can see the coordinates on my screen right here, and they are units. And there's like we're minus 500 or 5 million units on one axis and almost 2.1 million on the other axis. It's just huge. And of course, we have cats, and they have little food dishes.
Okay, I think we're going to have to start wrapping it up so we can move on to our next segment. Thank you so much for the Minecraft Tour Keeper. I know we keep kind of putting you on the spot with that. Just appreciate you rolling with it.
Happy to help. Wish I was there. Maybe another year.
We wish you were here too.
Alrighty.
Okay, so you want to throw to our next? You're on camera.
Oh.
I thought you did that.
I'm over here eating ginger candy and occasionally getting it stuck in my teeth, not knowing I'm on camera. Hi.
I'm sorry. I've like lost any concept of being self-conscious on live stream, so I'm just like, oh right.
I same normally, but again, ginger candy stuck in teeth. Okay. I'm gonna talk through it while my mouth slowly burns from the gingery goodness. Up next, we're going to be talking about podcasting and the power it has to influence what people learn, what they think, and how they take us with them into all their private spaces, one headphone set at a time. Until then, we're going to roll those rockets. Stay tuned.